Hello everyone, and welcome back to our flag-specific tactics for Domination. We're on Plaza. This is Flag C, and as I mentioned in a flags video, the second part, this is pretty similar, but this position has actually moved, and that's what kind of makes it distinct from that. Once again, the sniper post can't see you. There's an entry point back here. There's a building over here with window, of course, that comes out. Then you have a door on the other side of here. A window, a path through here, door, window coming out of the shops, another door. Again, this window I don't worry too much about because they have to kind of expose themselves to the whole line of what's going on B. This one's a little more covered from B, so you can kind of use this window somewhat more effectively. Go through the electronic shop here, get your lovely Kindle. Looks like a Kindle. Now the problem with this flag basically became this thing gets moved, and you can see I can't get it without being exposed to this door. There's nothing I can do. Even crouching down makes no difference. So it's moved. It's a little bit farther back, and that turned this area into you want to be here no matter what. And the reason being, of course, is that you can cap the flag from this corner. You can see guys coming out. Again, if you listen to the last video, if you want to place a shock charge on this one, then in this case it actually goes right up there. Bouncing Betties, that sort of thing. I actually have had good luck with putting them behind this door. Not so much behind, but just out there. And that's sort of, interesting placement. But for the most part, you just really ended up standing on that corner, and if you were taking it from them, you were kind of doing this, and I really generally ignored this area. And if you're taking it back, you kind of end up doing the same thing. And the problem is that there's just you could stand here and effectively cut off that section. So I guess if you're retaking your home flag, that might not be a bad place, but it still ended up being very slow and not. I felt a little too exposed standing over here. There's just, you get this, you have so much space that you have to look at. Even with your best, you're stuck with this. This is so much space. This, you do have a lot of space. It is, fairly comparable, but really most of it's just going to be confined to right here, and that's a lot less space to cover. So that does cover that flag. Again, like I said, if depending on how play goes, that's also a decent spot, but for the most part, you were always wanting to stand right about there. So, final thoughts on this map. I like the map itself. The disco room up here, or I guess dubstep room, where you can hear the Skrillex song in here, is kind of cool, and the whole thing's laid out like a really nice little strip mall, and that's not too shabby. I mean, you got the fashion shops back here, and I do want to show you something back here in the fashion shop area. And as I said, I'm sure everybody probably knows this, but you got all these paths back here. You got the C flag, and if you go over here, of course, like I said, I'm pretty sure everybody knows this. Both sides have this, but if you don't see your enemies doing this, you kind of have a way around the map, right on the very outskirts, that will allow you to, move through here fairly undetected and be able to get back to the opposite side of their spawn. And, the other thing, of course, when you're moving through here, there's a couple of spots where you can get some pretty good views. I've actually had some luck taking some sniper, assault rifle mostly, but I've actually had decent luck with a sniper rifle from right around here. And again, because I was able to take cover and I wasn't up there, they didn't expect me to be here. And I've actually seen a guy do sniping from right in this area, and he was sniping directly into the B flag while people were taking it. And he was just sitting back here, pillaring this right here. He's looking through a space that big. It was so hard to take that guy. We actually ended up having to flank him to take him out, because he was able to pick just about anybody he saw ahead. I mean, the guy was good at what he was doing, too. I'm not going to say anything different than that. There are a few spots in here that are similar to that, where you can kind of get an interesting line of sight. Again, B flag, same thing. You can actually get all the way back to here and see some people red on the B flag, and that's a game of patience. It's not something that I'm particularly good at myself. I can get up in the common sniper spots and do it, but those little tiny windows, I just don't have the patience to wait for it. Overall, my thoughts on the map: actually plays out pretty fun. It's one of the more back and forth B flags. If you have two teams that are even reasonably aggressive, this flag will generally flip multiple times. Just simply because there's so many places and so many ways to take this from that offer a fairly good amount of cover. I mean, look how much exposure I can put myself to this exposure level while I've got a guy over here, and I mean, they're all kind of that way. The home flags, your gimme flags, your A and your C, those are bad flags, but the B flag itself offers a lot of interesting play on it. The map itself, I think, was kind of and this is the reason I think it is. These spots are so bleedingly obvious that they're sniper spots. I think they were kind of trying to allow for snipers to be in here and make another map besides the Meltdown, I believe, which has really long sight lines and sniper stuff, and they're not terribly long sight lines. I mean, you're not looking at a 100-meter headshot or anything here, but you get some decent sniping game, and then if you get some smart people, you can kind of get people up on these and play an SMG, or not SMGs, but LMGs and assault rifles, and just kind of defending these areas. And again, look at where that position on that sniper spot is. On that one, it's way over there. So if you're over here playing that spot, if you're just defending this right down here, you do have this area. And by the way, I don't know how many people realize this, but you can play through this slot, and I've done that, and it makes you very, very difficult to hit. And the same spot on the other side, you can play right through that spot, and it makes people, if anybody coming up those stairs is going to be really kind of hurting to kill you, where you can kind of just juke back and forth. So, overall, nice looking map. Flag placement on A and C, I think, could have been done a little bit better, but it is a map that I've enjoyed playing on simply because it does have a lot of variety in how the gameplay goes. Final thoughts on that, it would be that it is a decent map. My biggest complaint is this. If there's a UAV in the sky, it can be incredibly hard to see. And I have spent enough time dying while staring at the sky trying to find that UAV, because you're up against a team that's counter UAV, and you just don't have anything. You just don't have much of a way around it. Those cars do blow up, by the way. They do not tend to get blown up very often in the matches, but they do blow up on this map, so do pay attention to that, because you will probably not want to be standing there if it happens. So, that takes care of Plaza for A, B, and C, the final thoughts on the map and everything. That will wrap this one up. I thank you guys for watching. Good luck out there, and have a great day, everyone.